Wesizwe Platinum Mine offices. We want to thank Hamlet for giving us this opportunity to chat with him regarding Wesizwe Platinum Mine's flagship mine, Bakubung.
Good day, Newton. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Let me take this opportunity to also greet our viewers. My name is Hamlet Morule. I am the executive responsible for corporate affairs and investor relations within Wesizwe Platinum Limited.
Could you please give us a brief of Wesizwe Platinum mine and its flagship Bakubung mine in the Western Bank?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's key for one to just talk to the ownership structure. But it's important to mention that Wesizwe Platinum is a Johannesburg Stock Exchange listed company. We listed in the JSE as early as 2005. Wesizwe Platinum is currently owned or co-owned by a Chinese consortium comprised of Jinchuan Mining, which is a Chinese-based mining company. It is also owned by the China Africa Development Fund. Both these entities form a consortium that we normally refer to as CAGL, and they own 45% of Wesizwe. The other 55% is spread out, but one of the other key shareholders is actually Anglo, because it holds about 13% of Wesizwe, and the rest are spread out within various shareholders, both local and international. We are focusing on platinum group metals fundamentally, and Wesizwe, as we speak today, is a project operation which you had correctly mentioned, and which is a Bakubung Platinum Mine. We're busy developing that particular project as we speak. And our main objective really is to ensure that we develop that project within the set timelines, and most importantly within the allocated budgets.
Could you please tell us about the envisaged cost of the project, the production capacity, completion date, and the life of the mine?
Perhaps it is important to mention that during the course of last year, we undertook a study that we call the optimization study. The optimization study primarily had a number of objectives. One of those had to do with cost. The other had to do with various efficiencies in our mining methods. The other one had to do with the reduction of the periods leading towards full production. And the optimization study was approved by the board of Wesizwe and released in March of this year. And out of this optimization study, we managed to actually reduce nominal capital expenditure from an estimated 12 billion to an estimated 10.6 billion as we speak today. Full production would actually be reached earlier than anticipated. The previous studies had demonstrated that we will meet full production in the year 2022, but that has actually been brought back to the year 2020, which is an almost 2-year reduction of the timelines. So in essence, the optimization study has truly assisted us in ensuring that we actually fast track these processes. And talking to the life of mine would be 30 years. Well, I think this calls for me to talk about the optimization study that we completed towards the end of last year, that finally got approved by the board of directors of Wesizwe in March of this year. The purpose of the optimization study was to look into efficiencies, was to look into mining methods that we had previously adopted, whether in fact they could be improved, was to look at the possibilities of the reduction of costs, And finally, also to look at the possibilities of bringing back the full production date, which had earlier been estimated at the year 2022. And the study has proved that in fact we could reach full production by the year 2020. Talking to expenditures, again the optimization study managed to reduce the nominal capital expenditure from the estimated 12 million previously to a nominal figure of about 10.6 billion as we speak today. The life of the mine is going to be 30 years, and we are anticipating that the mine will produce 420,000 ounces per year at full production.
Looking at the size of the project, it's a massive project. How viable is it to embark on such a massive project, considering the challenges facing the mining industry, such as the low platinum prices, strikes facing the platinum mines, rising costs, etc., etc.?
Well, I would say that the project is very, very viable. Reasons being that Wesizwe Platinum is one of the very few projects that would still be supplying the market with platinum group metals in the few years to come. There are of course suppliers, but most have been supplying for a while, and Wesizwe with a 30-year life of mine, I'm sure would actually be received well by the market out there at the time that production starts. We hold a very optimistic view around the stability of the mining sector. The reasons being that we believe that the challenges that the mining sector is encountering today would surely be dealt with at the time when we start production. I'm referring here to challenges that relate to labor. I'm referring here to challenges that relate to the social license to operate. When it comes to costs, these are costs that will be affecting everybody within the mining industry. And as we were doing our optimization study, we ensured that in fact we prepare accordingly for whatever costs that would be anticipated, or escalation of costs that would be anticipated.
In terms of health and safety and safety of workers on site, have you had any fatalities? What have you done to enforce compliance?
Well, in terms of health and safety, I would say that we operate on the basis of zero fatalities. That's our target. We work very hard to try and ensure that we don't have fatalities. Fortunately, I could proclaim right here and right now that to date we have not had any fatalities within our environment. We have introduced very concise and very impactful standard operating procedures that ensures that our safety numbers remain, within acceptable numbers. But fortunately, we have not had any fatalities.
Looking at the community at large, how is the relationship between the mine and the community?
It's been a long road in a sense that Bakubung Platinum Mine has had its challenges like any other junior mine with its host community. There have been issues which directly emanated from the mine, like the interest by the host community to participate in available opportunities through tenders. There have been other issues which were not directly linked to the operations of the mine. Like in any other mining environment, there have been expectations from the host community around issues of job creation and so on. And all these factors do lead, as it is the same way in various other mining communities, they do lead to at times conflicts, but we have steadfastly worked together with our host community. As we speak today, we have quarterly stakeholder engagement forum where we've brought in various organizations from our host community. We engage with them on a quarterly basis. The last one held very recently, and that's where we present our issues and we continue to solidify our partnership together with the host community. So the long and short of it, really, I would say, our relationship, I would consider it very mature. We meet with the leadership of the community, the tribal leadership. We meet with various community leaders as well through the stakeholder engagement forum. So we have a very healthy relationship, I would say.
What can you say in regard to transformation? What have you put across to address the issue of transformation in the mining industry?
Well, I believe that I can only talk on behalf of Wesizwe and talk to programs that Wesizwe have adopted in order to ensure that we remain a transformed organization. But in general, I could also mention that the mining houses have previously declared, continue to declare that transformation is not an option. Transformation is a must. Transformation is not only a legal prerequisite, but transformation is the right thing to do. The historical baggage that we've got in South Africa puts it on every mining house's shoulders to ensure that transformation does happen and it's impactful transformation. But coming back to the Wesizwe programs, we are in a fortunate situation that we developed a mine from scratch. We do not have the challenges of having inherited programs and environments which were contrary to best practices internationally. So it is upon our hands to basically just do the right thing. I always mention that with Wesizwe, we don't have to transform. We have to do the right thing because we have nothing to transform. We are basically building from the beginning. You know, I often get a question around how we functioning with our colleagues who are of Chinese origin. I always maintain that their involvement in the project have actually been very beneficial. I did not mention that their investment into Wesizwe Platinum when they were acquiring the 45% stake was $227 million, which was followed by a facilitation of $650 million debt facility. Most of the junior mines who are our size, who are at the stage of development like us, would always have a challenge of actually raising funding. But in our situation, this partnership with the Chinese have been very beneficial to all the partners. Secondly, I would want to say that the development of the Bakubong Platinum mines have re-emphasized the importance of ensuring that we respect and ensure that we deliver that particular license that is normally called the social license to operate. It is a key thing for any mining house to actually solidly ensure that there are good partnership between the host community and the mine. Those are the two key things that I would actually highlight. The rest, of course, are out there in the market. There are various challenges. We're dealing with them as we continue developing the Bakubong Platinum mine. Well, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity. It's always a breath of fresh air to get information that is positive, particularly considering the currently depressed, mining environment that comes as a resultant of the current, situation that we've got in the industry. From our management and myself, I would like to say to you, Newton, that thank you very much for the